Hello and welcome everybody to the Separate to Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Coach Juice, aka Julian Baldi. On Separate to Elevate podcast, we talk about mindset, training performance, football, and a lot more. This is part two of the journey. If you haven't listened to part one, go check it out, listen to it, enjoy it, so you can have a good grasp of what we're going to talk about on this part two of the journey, of the route of Coach Juice. At this time, I'm sitting next to my co-host Mia. Mia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So first off, we're gonna get into. I've received so much great feedback from you guys. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. Shout out to my little brother talking about giving me advice on the audio. We working on it. Yeah. So and this time we want to jump into part two.
So, just to give the listener a quick recap, your senior year of high school, you go to a school in Clearwater, Florida, and during your college recruiting, you got your scholarship taken away because you didn't know how the system worked. Then you go to Independence for one semester, that didn't work out. Then you went back to Italy for spring semester while working two jobs to save up money to be able to afford to walk on to another junior college, and that college ended up being Ellsworth Community College in Iowa. And then in between all of that junk, there was also a lot of struggles and obstacles. You almost didn't make the team your first year, only started midway through your season your last year of junior college. And now, after all of that sacrifice and hard work and getting an All American accolades, you only had one offer that wasn't the right fit. So, what happens next in Coach Juice's journey?
Yeah. So like you said, the only offer that I had coming out of junior college was a smaller Division two offer as a defensive end, which wasn't a good fit for me anyways. And it really hurt at that time. I thought all the sacrifice and hard work that I've put in so far is going to pay off, but at that time it still didn't. So that was very frustrating, but I knew that I had still had this hard belief back on my head like I have to make it some way somehow just because of all the work I've put in. So basically what I've decided doing was taking on an internship opportunity in Clearwater, Florida, back in my stopping grounds where first it all started at the Bulletproof Athletics Sports Performance Gym, where basically I've learned most of my training knowledge and sports performance knowledge in general.
So, up until this moment, is there any life lessons that you really took away throughout all of those struggles up until this moment?
Yeah, I think what I've learned so far was really how to survive, meaning that since my whole family was on the other side of the globe, I had to find a way to make it happen no matter what. I had to find a way to make money to be able to pay college, my living expenses, all that. Like the example being like be able to learn math, to become a math teacher just because that was the only option available for me at that time,
Right.
and also how to survive because in the US you need a car for everything and I didn't have a car. So also like being able to like find rides, do all this and that, and just like the hunger build and from all the struggle, like really like I've embraced a lot. And the biggest thing I always say is like I'm molded from the struggle, so I'm really excited to talk about this part two of the journey. So just going into so what happened next. So around February of 2020, I went to Clearwater, Florida. Shout out to Adan Lopez, the CEO trainer at Bulletproof Athletics, where I've done my internship at. Um, where, like I said, I'll learn most of the stuff in regards to training, sports performance, and like even back then, I knew that I still wanted to make it in football some type of way because it just I've worked too fucking hard for this. Like there was no way I I'm not gonna make it some way somehow. You know what I mean? Even though I thought it was over, so maybe I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go play in Europe or somewhere. But I really like I kept training like a crazy motherfucker per se, and that's like I said, this is year 2020. Nobody knew that COVID is gonna happen. Like nobody knew what's going to happen next. So also a big shout out to my old high school coach David, because basically where when I went to Clearwater, Florida, I stayed at a little like back room behind the garage
Right.
of my high school coach, and I call it the trenches, but it was a nice little room per se. But at that time, I would say I was very lonely, like because all I did, just to give you guys an idea, what of a daily schedule. I woke up, worked out my first training session, went back, took a nap, ate all that stuff, went back, trained the second session, ate a little snack, and then I worked at night. I worked at the gym like as an assistant personal trainer. Went back home, went to sleep, and that's like for the whole goddamn year. Like
That was it. No
n-
hangout sessions with friends. No beach days. No, you're in Florida. No Disney. No nothing.
no, see, this is the funny thing. Even my parents really like, what are you doing? So I was, if you guys don't know, Clearwater, Florida is one of like the hot spots like for vacations.
Yeah, there's a really nice beach there.
Exactly. And I was there for almost a year and a half, and I went to the beach maybe 5 times, and for those 5 times were strictly just to work out. So just to give you guys an idea, I never went. I was living 10 minutes from one of the nicest beaches in the United States, and I've only been there 5 times to work out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, tunnel vision by a
Fully
million,
locked in.
fully locked in, no parties, no nothing, like zero, just fucking wanna fucking hungry, just hungry to make it.
So during COVID, were you just working at the gym, or were you doing something else too?
So like I said, I was training 2 times a day just to keep the dream alive per se. Even though I struggle a lot with uncertainty, like the vision was very cloudy at that time because I thought college football was over because my eligibility was basically running out. So I had no film, so I thought it was over in that regards. But I just kept grinding because I knew at some point some from all this work is gonna happen. It's gonna pay off. But also, yeah, like I said, I was working at the gym, and then also I was a second time was a janitor at my old high school.
So you were a janitor 2 times in your life? Two
Yes,
different places?
yes, I was a janitor at Independence Community College, and I was a janitor at my old high school, just to pay the bills per se.
Right.
And I even took a picture one time. I think I'm gonna put it on Instagram. On the at the Separate to Elevate podcast pod on Instagram, just to show you guys what that looked like. Just because I even remember what we used to do, because that is the time COVID. Like this is 2020. This is COVID year. What's happening? So we used to disinfect the whole school,
Mm-hmm.
and like after we disinfected the whole school, I had to wipe down the floors and all this stuff. And I was listening to a podcast from John Matson actually about like how to overcome struggles and all that good stuff. And I just realized, damn, like I'm doing all this work, like some really gotta happen. You know what I mean? But also, I think that's the time going into May of 2020 and fall of 2020 where Coach Juice actually like came to life. Because once football season started for high school, I was able to be a strength and conditioning assistant for my old high school. And that where the whole Coach Juice really started. Juice meaning this sense, energy,
Mm-hmm.
because I was really like hype. I was the hype man. I brought the juice.
You brought the juice.
Yeah, so that's how the whole Coach Juice thing started. And that was one of the best experiences ever. Just like seeing high school players, because Clearwater Academy International, that high school had a lot of international players, especially from Canada now, and they grew a lot. So there was a lot of opportunity for them to go play college football.
Right.
And I just love to see their hunger, their willingness to work, to get better, to chase their dream. I saw my younger self in them. So I was really excited to help them to get better, to chase that dream. And during COVID year, I'm talking 2020, we were able to get, I think it was 10 or 11 players go Division One, sign Division One scholarship during COVID year, which was pretty insane.
Yeah,
talking
that's
about,
big.
because COVID year then again like got everybody an extra year, so it set a whole recruiting class back.
So during COVID, everybody got an extra year of eligibility. What was your initial reaction to hearing about it?
I mean, yeah, that was a great. I was like, damn, we back in the game, baby. Cause like I said, I was grinding until then. I was really putting in work, working out twice a day, just cause I knew I had a feeling like all this work has to pay off at one point.
Yeah, it had to be for something.
Yes. So I think it was September, October of 2020 when the NCAA approved the extra year of eligibility, and I was okay. I was like, I was like, we back in the game, so let's go back to the whole recruiting process, everything. I started sending out all my highlight film again. Really emphasize this time since I only had old film from last year. I put out a lot of like training highlights, like working out stuff, lifting stuff, field work stuff, just to show the coaches like my improvement. I've been working, and like I said, like if you guys saw the picture on Instagram, before and after of 1 year, that happened during COVID, and again, just mainly because all I was doing was fucking grinding from morning till night for 365 days, just straight up grinding. And I think that was really like the biggest game changer at that moment, at that time, that gave me confidence to go back in the recruiting game, hop back on the saddle, and let's say, let's fucking go. Like, we back in it.
So since you're back in the game and you have that extra year, what was recruiting like for you now?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I really went hard at it. Like this time, I actually like took it almost like a job. So meaning I took like an hour during lunch and almost like another hour at night just to reach out to college coaches, really like sending out my stuff. And honestly, like I've got a lot of engagement, meaning a lot of coaches got back to me, but because it was COVID, because everybody got an extra year, the whole recruiting class was messed up, so it was really hard. Like schools didn't have any money left. I received PWOs, meaning preferred walk-ons, meaning had a spot on the team, but still had to pay, and I only could afford a full ride scholarship, so that was a no-go. During around, I think it was November or December, I was very close of receiving a full ride Division 1 scholarship, but that didn't fall through. So again, a lot of adversity, a lot of obstacles. Mainly, all the offers and I've received so far at that moment were only PWOs or partial scholarship because of COVID, because there wasn't a lot of money. Because now everybody has another
Yeah, everybody
chance.
stayed.
Exactly. So I mean, I kept believing, I kept working, and during that time, I think it was around Christmas where COVID was still hitting hard, and I haven't seen my family for a whole year now, and usually I always go back for Christmas, but that at this time because of COVID I couldn't, because it was pretty crazy, because if I left I couldn't come back to the United States and all that, and I think that really will hurt my recruiting process. So I stayed in the U.S. during Christmas. I think that was really like a moment where I was like, "Fuck!" Like I want to go home. Like what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Just cause like I'm like it's
You
I've
were
never
homesick. You missed your
yes
family.
I've never been more than a year away from my family. This day I remember this very closely. I had my iPad with a little video of like a little Christmas tree playing, and on my laptop I had FaceTime with my whole family. Just like sitting in my little room alone, just fucking, I don't know, just a lot of random thoughts going through my mind, just like, damn, like, even though I've been fucking grinding, like I said, there was no other option for me but to win.
Mhm.
Like, I had to find a way, I had to make a way. Remember this, like, I really think this is really important for a lot of people. If there is no way, you have to make a way. You have to fucking make your own way, if that makes sense. Just because I don't know, like there was just so much going through my mind at that time. But again, like I just kept working, kept believing, kept grinding, and also during New Year's Eve, I did a midnight workout, and I also posted. I made a video that I posted on TikTok, which went kind of viral. Uh, just cause I was just grinding during New Year's Eve, talking my shit, just letting everybody know I'm working. But again, like no full rides, no. The vision was still unclear. It was very stressful. Also because now I had a 1 year visa. If you guys don't know, like this whole visa thing is also pretty hard. Just like to be able to stay in the United States. So I had pressure on that side too, just like to be able to stay in the US, to be close to college coaches. But again, like I was a year in the United States to do the internship at Bulletproof Athletics, and then halfway through, I was the strength and conditioning coach for Clearwater Academy with whole Coach Juice mantra started, and that was really exciting. And then once extra year got approved, my whole focus went into okay, let's try to find another college offer because why not? Like, I got this one life. I worked so fucking hard for this. Like, let's go all in. Let's finish this shit.
So now it's 2021. Your 1 year internship visa is about to expire. You still don't have a full ride scholarship. What now?
Yeah, like I said, like after New Year's, uh, I was kind of stressing about this whole situation because, like, damn, like again, like a whole year of grinding, just tunnel vision, still no progress. I mean, progress physically, yes, like you guys saw, like athletically, progress was fucking insane. Like, cause guess what? If you put in the work, if you go tunnel vision or something, you're gonna achieve that. But still, no progress in regards to scholarship offers or college recruiting. Yes, I've been talking to a lot of coaches, but still no full ride. Still no really like. Still no hope in that sense, if that makes sense. Also, want to give a big shout out to the 5 a.m. crew. That was me and other three guys who were working out in the morning. All three hungry motherfuckers who were trying to make it at that time. Big shout out to Kirill, Javon, and Mert, man. Love you guys. Like, with that group, I really went crazy in the weight room. And that's where kind of like we're going into then the whole like videos going viral. Because that kind of came around spring of 2021 going into. So I'm excited to talk about that part right now. Okay, so spring 2021, again, the pressure is always on. Like, I had maybe like 6 more months from January till June to really find a scholarship offer. That was really now my last shot to really like for college football in general. As always, kept working, no outside life, tunnel vision. And at this time, I started posting on TikTok because I really realized that TikTok's not just dancing. So I just like, why not just start posting a little bit. I just want to
Yeah.
like sometimes just post like little workout videos. And one video kind of popped off. I think that was my first time ever going viral. It was my hand clean, the hand
Oh,
clean
that
video.
everybody thought it was a deadlift.
Yes, exactly. And funny enough, like that was my first time. I think the first video ever to go viral. At that point, I had maybe 200 followers on TikTok and 1,000 followers on Instagram. And once I think viral at that point was like I got like 300K views, which at that point for me was a lot.
Yeah.
So I was refreshing the page. I
Every
could
5 minutes.
yes, every 5 minutes. At that point, I couldn't even sleep because I was refreshing it all night. It was actually pretty crazy the first time ever going viral. But that was around March of 2021. So I was like, damn, okay, that's cool. Let me post again. I kept posting, and then back then I really was doing a lower back extension focus program. Shout out to Bulletproof Backman, that was my trainer, Adon Lopez, who put me on there. And at one point, we're just like, man, just fuck it, let's just max out on the back extension, right? So I did that. Of course, we filmed it. I posted it on TikTok, and bang, like that one blew off. Again, like for in that case, a lot of people thought it wasn't like I will break my back, all that stuff. But again, the back extension is very safe if done correctly. Also, it's not like I just done it one time just cause. No,
Yeah, you didn't just throw on weight one day. Like, you trained for that.
exactly. I really like months and months of preparation to do that, mainly because my lower back was a big limiting factor for my performance. If you guys don't know, the lower back is almost 70% of your athletic performance. Your posterior chains is your go muscles. But okay, going back to the back extension video, blew up on TikTok, and then, like I said, at that point, I only had like 1,000 followers on Instagram and like 300 now on TikTok. But with that going viral, then at one point, I think a week later, Sports Center, I got a DM from Sports Center on Instagram, and they were like, "Can we repost this TikTok video of yours?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And once they did, like I was like, wow. Like I went from I think yeah, let's say 1,000. No, maybe I had 2,000 followers at that point, but I gained 10,000 followers in 3 hours.
Oh, game over.
Yeah, game over. Like all like NFL and celebrities commenting on Sports Center video of mine, just like talking crazy. Like it was wild. And I always heard this saying: if you go viral once and you gain a lot of followers, you should really, really like take advantage of the opportunity you're
Right.
given. So at that point, I really like put a lot of energy into creating more content and like really like emphasizing this whole social media game. And that really helped me. Then again, like I think like even like a week later, again I went viral on overtime, and just like from there, I really like, okay, like this could become some. So I just kept running that part. But also like this is the time again where college recruiting, the whole college like recruiting process was going on for me. Still no full ride offers. Still no hope, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. But I always kept working because I remembered like all this fucking work I've put in. I know all those people, a lot. I mean, most of the people who I saw go D1 at that point, like they would never work as hard as me. So I was kind of like pissed off. It's like, damn, like they getting somewhere by doing half of the work I'm doing.
Right.
So this has to pay off at some point. So I just kept working. At that point, I was still training the high school team, which was really cool. Again, just like getting more knowledge, getting more experiences of how to train like in a team setting, the whole high school team, which was really cool. Um, but then going forward, now we are around May of 2021. The pressure is now really high because I only got 1 month left for to find a school. Otherwise, I had to go back to Italy because my visa was expiring, and I didn't know how to come back because you only can if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you're not able to get a working visa.
Mm.
So for me, it really was okay how I'm able to stay in the United States. It was a bunch of stuff going through my mind. I was like, damn, like this is it. Like if I don't make it in the next month, this is it. So I was in a all in mentality mindset. I was like, fuck it, like this is I only have this one life. Why I gotta do something crazy. And some crazy meaning I was planning to attend football camps because during the summer around June, like there was a lot of like mega camps where a lot of college coaches are like recruiting.
Mhm.
And at that point, since it's COVID, like the extra year was pretty new. Like they only had high school camps. So basically, what I did is I registered as a high school athlete to these camps. So I was just showing up there as a high school athlete.
I could imagine seeing your big self trying to imitate a high
Yeah, and
schooler.
honestly, I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But at that point, I really didn't care because I was like, I've put in too much work. Like, this is really like a last resort, all in option. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, um, the first camp I ever went to, I went to Mercer University up in Georgia. Shout out to Blair for letting me rent his car, borrow his car. I drove for 6 hours with my friend Javon to Mercer, stayed in a hotel, and then the next day was the camp. And guess what? I thought, okay, we're here. Like, this is my last shot. Let's be great. Like, let's show them what's up. Of course, I cut the sleeves off, trying to look impressive to the coaches.
Mhm.
And on the first drill of my first football camp of May 2021, I pulled my hamstring.
Come
And
on.
here we go again. I pulled my hamstring mainly because I usually, like I said, I never drove like that. And I drove for 6 hours the day before. If you guys know, driving for a long time can tighten up your hamstring and all that. So I pulled my hamstring, first drill ever. Honestly, at that point, I was like, damn, here we go again. Like, all, like,
Something else. Like,
yeah,
alright.
like another fucking obstacle, a lot of adversity again. I said, fuck it. I took ibuprofen. I just dogged it out for that camp. And again, like at that point, what I did is what I really think really separated me. I made because I knew college recruiting was business, so I made business cards for coaches, like with my name, my height and weight, my recruiting class, all my accolades, my Twitter handle, and my picture, of course.
Of
To
course.
I gotta
For the
like,
muscles.
yeah. Um, After the camp, I went around, gave it to every coach, and crazy enough, like at that point I went viral a few times already. So even a few players on the camps like recognized me, which
Mhm.
was wild, which was a crazy experience. Even some of the coaches recognized me. Wait, are you the guy from the back extension video?
No way.
So my name, I think my name was really out there, but it was still COVID, so a lot of schools didn't have money left or spots left. But I kept grinding, I kept believing. So that was camp one, and then I went to a second camp that was Florida State camp, and that's the camp at the end of the camp where I met. At that time was Coach Goff, the old head football coach for Valdosta State. I didn't think much about it because I knew for Division II schools it's like very hard to give full ride scholarship. But we exchanged informations. I went on with my life thinking nothing about it. Then I went to a third football camp up in Kennesaw, Georgia. At that point, I really was like, I gotta get as many camps in as I can just to get more exposure. Like I
Right.
said, I only had like maybe at this point 2 weeks left until it was all over. So I flew to Kennesaw, stayed in a nasty hotel for one night. When I woke up, I saw roaches all over the place. So that wasn't nice, but whatever. Like I did pretty good at the camp again, giving out my recruiting business cards, all that. And funny enough, at that point, I went viral again. This time on Max Preps, which is a high school football sporting site,
Mhm.
just because like they realized, okay, like look at this guy. Like also another thing I did, not just business cards, but also put my Twitter handle on my shirt
Mhm.
to get more recognition. Just like if you go to a college football camps, you wanna stand out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how, quote unquote goofy you look. Like you just wanted to be.
Yes, you wanna stand out. Uh, so and then that was then like a week after Florida State camp. I got a text from Valdosta State head football coach telling me that at this point, like I have received a full ride scholarship to Valdosta State, and that moment was just like wow, like
I want to cry for you just thinking about it. Like I
yeah,
couldn't
no,
imagine like
that
to the
was
very last
that
second.
was crazy. There was like maybe 10 days left before the closure of the option to transfer. But at that point, I still didn't commit right away because you know how recruiting goes. I had one camp left, and that camp was actually in California because my friend, shout out to Cuomo, my friend lives there. So I flew out to see him, and then he lived right next to Sac State, where I did my last camp. Where then I had to wait because there was two big Division I schools who were like very interested in me and were thinking to offer me. But at the end of the day, how recruiting works, of course, it didn't
I
fall
did it, of
through.
course.
So 1 week before the closure of transfer portal and everything, 1 week before the end of the era of Coach Juice or me in general, I was able to commit to Valdosta State, and that was just like wow, like we got somewhere with this. Like all those four years, even like more than that, 7 years in the back, just straight up grinding, having no life, trying to figure out a way to make it, really paid off at that moment. But it only lasted for, I would say, the happiness only lasted for like 5 hours, and I was like, okay, what's next?
Mhm.
Like I didn't even have time to enjoy it. I was just so focused because I knew like life is rough. Like I know there are gonna be more obstacles, more adversities. Like I have to be ready for everything. I think it's really hard for somebody to be told no so many times and still be like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna show you, like, and keep going.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing here, I think, for you guys to understand is like being resilient, meaning that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how much shit you go through, if you don't fucking quit, you will make it some way, somehow, at some point. But see, here's the thing: at some point, could for me it meant 5 years of having no life, just being tunnel vision, working out 24/7, getting better, always adapting to the situation to find a way to make it happen, and being told no so many times, facing adversity left and right, and just keep going. I think that's the best way to end this show. Just to tell you guys, keep fucking going no matter what you're going through, because it's gonna pay off. You just have to keep going.
So you committed to Valdosta State, and that was secured. But all this time, you still haven't had the chance to go home. Were you able to actually go home before your next school semester started?
Yeah, so actually, I was able to go home. Like I said, I committed and I signed end of June of 2021. And 2 weeks later, I was able to go back home for 9 days actually, because like again, like football starts, fall camp was right around the corner. I went back home almost after 2 years for 9 days to see all my family, and I kind of wanted to surprise them, so I didn't tell them. I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna see you guys at Christmas, but I surprised them, which was fucking
Oh,
crazy.
that's cute.
Yeah, but one thing that really hit me, once my mom opened the door and I saw my mom and my dad and my brother, was how different they looked. Just like I felt like they looked different. My brother looked different because of course he's older, and my parents just look older. If that makes
Right.
sense. And that shit just fucking hurt, because I felt like I missed so much life and experiences with them during those almost like 2 years. I haven't seen them, and that shit just still to this day, like I almost could like shed a tear right now,
Right.
just because it fucking hurts. But I knew that all this work I've put in, all this sacrifice, if I win, they win too. So, uh, fuck. Like I know that's why I go so fucking hard. Like that's why I don't stop. Just cause I'm still not where I want to be. I still have a lot of things to prove, and I still know that all this sacrifice, all this time not with my family, being able to like build a relationship with them, like has to pay off at the end. When I win, they win too.
I couldn't even imagine being away from my family, if I wasn't able to go see them for Thanksgiving and they're 4 hours away. So for you to not see them for a year, a little over a year, and then going back and seeing them and just seeing them older, like I couldn't even imagine like how you felt, how motivated you felt to do all this work for them, and like that just it inspires me just being your friend.
Yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that moment at the start really hurt, and at this right now, it just motivates me to go hard and just to keep grinding, because I mean, the grind never stops, and I still gotta keep going. Like this is just the start. Like I'm really trying to like build something special, so my family is proud. Because again, like they don't still really understand the whole part what I'm doing, but they're slowly getting it. So I'm really like trying to like make it happen. Go hard against everything that people said I couldn't do, and just keep on grinding. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Separate to Elevate podcast. If you've learned of something really hits you within this podcast, please share it with your friends. Let them know. Follow me on Instagram at Julian underscore Baldi, BLDI. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Separate Two with a two Elevate Pod. Man, you know all the good stuff. Check the link in the bio. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate all you guys. Keep grinding and make it happen.